Hello there. I'm Lora Cheadle, and I believe that women deserve to be seen and known for who they are, not for what they do. And it is my mission to empower every woman out there to know exactly who she is and what she wants, so she can live a life that is exactly the kind of life she wants and end up with no regrets. This is my story. I am a fully recovered corporate attorney turned life choreographer and burlesque dancer. And I'm also the survivor of some pretty hideous infidelity, which I'll go into a little bit later. Suffice to say, I know exactly what it's like to be devastated, to have the rug completely pulled out from under you. And because of that, I can truly help anybody get back in touch with who they are, what they want, and to come out of the other side of a crisis better for it. Now, I was a successful attorney with a good life. But I was always working so hard, trying to balance it all, trying to do everything for everyone, that I never had time to enjoy this whole life that I had created. My kids were growing up really fast. 3 of my grandparents had passed away. And even though I felt like I was missing out on life, even though I wasn't really that happy, I didn't know what to do about it because I didn't really want to leave a career that I had spent so much time and effort and money to have. And I also had this enormous need for security. I was the daughter of an accountant, and the idea of leaving my job just didn't make sense to me. So I dug really deep. And despite all of that self-doubt, despite my fears, I ended up leaving work. Now, I don't want to sugarcoat it because it wasn't that easy. Losing my identity as a lawyer and suddenly being a housewife and a mom was really hard on my ego because nobody validates you for being a mom. Nobody pats you on the back for clipping coupons or for potty training by a certain age. And you're all alone and you're working hard and you're exhausted all the time, and nobody really sees what you do at all. So although I loved being with my kids, I wasn't really fulfilled or satisfied for me. So I ended up going back to school to pursue my passion for the whole mind, body, spirit wellness. I became a personal trainer, a certified hypnotherapist. I took classes in various forms of energy work, and I created this perfect part-time mom business that I could work around my family schedule. And it was great because it allowed me to do everything, and it allowed my husband to pursue his career and to travel extensively. And I'm just going to say that being the overachiever that I am, I can tell you I really did do everything. I threw myself into wife and motherhood with a vengeance, and I made sure everything was perfect. Now, in that process, I lost track of who I was, and I also lost track of what I was worth. Yes, I had dreams, I had desires, but I was so busy literally taking care of everyone and everything that I had no time or energy left over for me. And that's when I started to become afraid that it never was going to be my time. Afraid that by the time I got everyone and everything taken care of, I would be too old and it would be too late to do what I wanted. I knew I needed to do something, and I knew it might involve dance because that was something that I had always loved doing, but I didn't know what that meant. And I was terrified. I was a mom. I didn't have a great body anymore. I didn't have extra time or money to spend on me, and I was really afraid of what people would think. Through a series of coincidences, I ended up taking a dance class again. Not only that, I ended up taking a burlesque class, and then I ended up at a burlesque audition, and before I knew it, I had an invitation to dance at Harrah's Casino in Las Vegas. Now, you might think that I jumped on it, but you would be wrong. Oh no, that invitation brought up all of my fears that I wasn't good enough, that I was an imposter. What would people think? They would think I was weird. They would think this was a strange, risque thing. What was wrong with me for wanting to do it? And I said, no way. Until my friends heard that I had said, no way. They all told me I was crazy for saying no, and they convinced me to go. And I am so glad they did, because that weekend in Las Vegas changed my life. It made me realize that all of this energy and all of this effort that I was spending making myself and my life into what I thought it should be was a waste. That I was not doing what I wanted to do or being who I wanted to be because of me. Because I was too busy chasing that external than to go within and to validate myself. That weekend really was an amazing transformational experience. And then, just as everything had gotten really good, my youngest was about to graduate from college. My business had been transformed. I had it all figured out. It was finally going to be about me. That's when I discovered that my husband of 23 years had spent 15 of those years having affairs with 5 different women. The devastation was so complete. I didn't think I could ever move on. I was rejected. I had been betrayed. I was humiliated by the person that I loved and that trusted the most. And I felt like a victim because I was. And I couldn't process it or even understand what was going on. And I didn't see how I could ever be happy or trust anyone again. As hard as that experience ended up being, it truly was the catalyst that launched me even further than I had anticipated. It taught me that being happy is not contingent on any external circumstances or conditions. And paradoxically, it reconnected me to my worth in a way that is so complete. I can no longer be diminished by anyone or anything that is outside of me ever again. No matter what is going on in your life, if you're done striving to do a better job, to make yourself better, to smile through the pain, to push down the resentment, to settle for less than you deserve, if you're ready to take your life back, to live on your own terms, to rekindle your dreams, then I invite you to join my world. Because I know, like me, so many overachieving women reach the point where although they've done it all, they're just not that happy. And then they spiral into feeling guilty or broken because they think they should be happier. In my 5-month life choreography program, I help women reconnect to their naked self-worth, which is their ability to value themselves for who they are, not for what they do or achieve or for who they are in relation to anyone else. I show them exactly how to be happy right now, no matter how much they weigh, no matter what else is going on in their world, so they can stop doing it all and start being and expressing exactly who they are. Validating themselves, living life on their own terms, so they will no longer be thrown for a loop anytime something happens. And so they can live and love themselves as they are now and forever. Welcome. I am so glad you've joined me.